Welcome, everyone. This is Todd Morgan, CEO of RealEstateAcademy.net, and I'm excited tonight to have you guys on the line. Thanks so much for taking some time out of your busy schedule and actually getting in here and spending some time with me. And I'm going to be talking to you about some awesome things today. I'm going to be talking to you about how to really supercharge your income. I'm going to talk to you about how I went from kind of just an average guy out there to really going to a much bigger income. And I call it the 7-figure blueprint because most people, they know how to make some money here and there. Some of you out there, you have businesses right now that make a couple thousand a month. Some of you have business to make out, 10, 20, 30,000 a month. Okay, but to get to the big money, there is a blueprint for that. And I'm going to be talking to you in terms of how to get to the big money tonight. I hope you don't mind me talking about how to get to the big money. Okay, at any rate, so I'm going to be talking about live events and basically some decisions that I had to make. And I really think that, guys, if you'll write this information down tonight, I think it'll be very helpful to you because there were some big decisions that I made that kind of put me on the trajectory of the business I'm in now. And I love the business I'm in now. I interface with very successful people. I'm constantly working with influential people. I have 17 income streams that come from all the things that I do, and it's very exciting, both in terms of revenue that comes from all kinds of different sources. I'll be talking more about that today. But at any rate, first of all, I want to thank you, congratulate you for getting on this webinar tonight. Obviously, 7-figure blueprint. There's a lot of people that probably should know this information. A lot of people should be on this webinar, but they're not. The people that are on this webinar, I already know that you are special people because 99% of people do not even take time out for continuing education. And the fact that you've taken the time out of your schedule, that you've made yourself available, first of all, I just want to congratulate you for that. And I already know that you guys are the people that are going to be successful because you are spending the time to learn and to grow. And usually your breakthroughs come from another person. It's rare that you can sit in your office or your home and just all of a sudden, out of the blue, an amazing idea comes forward that's just going to make you 5 times, 10 times, 20 times the money you have right now. Every major breakthrough that I've had in my life has been stimulated by some other really successful person who's been able to show me a little bit of a different way to think of things. So long story short is I'm going to get going here and talk to you about the 7-figure blueprint. I encourage you to take a lot of notes tonight. And, of course, I'm also going to have an opportunity for you guys to work with me in your local area, and we're going to be putting on lots of events this next year. So I'm looking forward to explaining to you how we're doing it. And we've got access to a 20 million person database of business opportunity and other investors and things like that, and real estate people. So I'm going to be very excited to show you the full blueprint of what we're doing and how you guys can be involved with us. So with that said, I'm going to push the next button, and we're going to get started. Before we do that, can everyone just please, on the question and answer session, can you just tell me, can you hear me okay? Just say, yes, I can hear you or something like that. I'm going to hold on just for a second to make sure everyone can hear me okay. Okay, yes, you can hear me. Okay, good. I had to make sure someone was saying they could hear. Okay, wonderful. You can hear me. That is good news. I've actually done webinars where no one's seen the screen. I've also done webinars where no one can hear me. So I've learned from experience that best to check that, make sure everyone can hear, and then move on. Okay, I am live on this webinar. Please feel free to ask questions along the way if you have any. At the end of this webinar, I will take any questions that you have and answer them. This webinar will have a lot of information, and I think it's going to be really great. So here we go. Let's see if we can get this to move forward. Okay, what I'm going to tell you about today is how to double your money in 30 to 90 days. Repeat it over and over. And I'm going to show you the world's most profitable business. I'm going to show you, once you master this business, you'll have no problem making money continually and constantly once you master this business, okay? And that's what I'm going to teach you about today. I'm going to give you 5 promises right at the beginning. I'm going to teach you the ultimate business model. I'm going to explain to you why it's the ultimate business model. I told you I'm going to show you how to double your money using live events without creating your own product or service. How many of you work really, really hard and maybe you make some money every single month? Well, how would you like to do events, not even have to do the event, not even have to have the product, not even have to make any of the sales, and and you get a stream of that revenue. Well, that's the kind of more close to the business that I run, okay? What I realized is that you're going to get money from your leads. If you have a buyer's list, an investor list, all of these people that are in your world can be worth a lot of money to you. And I'm going to explain to you how much money they can be worth to you in a little bit, okay? But that's promise number 2. I'm going to show you how to do this business without using having any of your product or service. Okay, I'm going to show you why this is the world's greatest business, mainly because you can leverage yourself and leverage your resources so that you're impacting hundreds and if not thousands of people, and your leverage by contacting and working with hundreds and thousands of people at the same time creates a really awesome business for you, okay? I'm going to show you a business plan for big returns with little or no work for you, and I'm also going to show you how to get started today. So let's go on. First of all, what I want to do is just give you a little bit more background about me. Some of you know who I am. Some of you have never heard me before, and some of you maybe know a little bit about me. But I've been known as a maverick entrepreneur. I founded realestateacademy.net about 4 or 5 years ago. I have been a best-selling speaker. I've spoken on many, many stages across the country on both personal development and real estate and other things like that. I've taught hundreds of thousands of investors. I've done over 300 successful real estate deals myself and with partners, and I'm a leading authority on part-time 7-figure businesses. Okay, and all the brands that I'm launching this year, and all the speaking and things that I'm doing, is all around helping people understand the blueprint to create a 7-figure business and to create a business that has the lifestyle that they want. I'll be talking more about that. Okay, I'm telling you a little bit more about me because I want you guys to understand that this is who I am now. But I wasn't always, this person. I wasn't always someone really, really super duper successful. I'm also known as the webinar king. I've done over 247 webinars. In fact, a couple years ago, I did 52 webinars in 1 week, and we sold 250 products in that week. Okay, and so guys, I was pioneering webinars before people were just like experimenting and trying to figure out, what are webinars, So I was in the forefront of that movement. I've also sold over $14 million of products and services in the last 4 years. But here's the catch that's interesting about that. Mostly did all that with part-time staff. I've had a few web designers here and there part-time. I've had an executive assistant part-time. I've had calling people from different parts of the country that did some phone sales part-time. But what I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of things you can do with a few set of resources working part-time. Okay, mostly of the sales done through web and email and part-time staff. Okay, so it just goes to show you to make a big business and to make good income. Like I said, my business is $1 million to $2 million every single year, and that's going to go up. My goal this next year to 18 months is to move actually to $20 million a year. Okay, and I have a plan on how to do that. So, and you guys are going to get clued in to what I'm doing here in just a second. I've shared the stage with many celebrities and famous people, and that has been very interesting and been very exciting. I've been on the same stage with Robert Kiyosaki, Robert Allen, Robert Sheeman, Bill Bartman, Laura Langemeyer, Michael Gerber, Harry Dent, David Fagan, Greg Reed, who just wrote the book 3 Feet from Gold. I just got off the phone with Matt Morris, who is the founder of Success University, and now he travels all over the world, pretty much doing whatever he wants. But he built a $20 million a year business and sold it to World Ventures, and he built a 100,000 person database. Anyway, he's a genius. He's an internet marketing genius, and these are the kind of people I get to hang out with, and it's exciting. I've sold 80 properties in 90 minutes in seminars. I've sold 232 products in 7 days. I've sold hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars multiple times. And so, once again, I'm telling you this for a reason. I'm not telling this to you so you can feel like, wow, geez, Todd's amazing. Wow. I'm telling this because what I want you to know is that that's who I am now. I'm a successful person that has a great lifestyle. But I started out, very similar to where you started out 4 or 5 years ago. Actually, my timing of starting out was 2003, 2004. Okay, in the process of 6-7 years, this is who I've become. But I didn't start there. I was trapped in corporate America. I was one of those people who was making a decent living, a good living, but I was trapped in corporate America. I had a boss I didn't like. I had a company that I worked for, And I had 8 a.m. sales meetings. I hated the 8 a.m. sales meetings. I hated all the travel and long hours and the empty feeling in your gut that you just weren't living the life you were meant to. You weren't doing what you wanted to do, but yet you kept going into that grind. You kept going into that office because that's what life said you should do. That's what the expectations of everyone around you said you should go to high school, and then you should go to college, and then you should get a degree, and then you should get into a company, and then you should work for 50, 60, 70,000 a year, and you should work your way up. And that's the world I came from. I was trapped, just like this picture right here, I was trapped. I feel bad for that little kid there. But my life changed unexpectedly, really. I learned about a seminar when I was in New York, and I was in Pfizer. Pfizer's corporate headquarters for a software installation, and I saw this real estate seminar. I said, you know what? I've heard that real estate might be good. Let me go to that. And I had to actually take a 4 a.m. train on Saturday to get up there to New York, and I got there like 9 or so, and I hopped into that event. At any rate, I remember this well because it was the anniversary of Viagra at Pfizer, and there were like Viagra balloons, Viagra mugs, Viagra T-shirts. Everything was Viagra. It kind of was a little embarrassing, but anyway, I remember it very well because of that. And anyway, I went to that event, and what I got out of that event was that there are people out there trailblazing. There are people that are entrepreneurs. There are people that are making things happen out there, and they're not just going to corporate America. And that was refreshing to me. I never really thought of it that way, and I was excited to know that that was possible. So guess what I did? About 9 months later, I took the plunge, and I became an entrepreneur, and I started out in real estate, and I started doing pretty good. But then I realized there's a lot to being an entrepreneur. You got to worry about lead generation, strategic planning, billing, taxes, legal issues, fulfillment, marketing, sales, admin, customer service. And there's just a lot of things that I didn't really know you had to deal with. And I wound up eventually, not right all at once, but eventually I wound up overwhelmed, stressed out, and maxed out. How many of you out there are overwhelmed, stressed out, and maxed out? I was in the same boat. I can definitely relate to anything anyone else is going out there, okay? My life became an entrepreneurial nightmare. I thought it was going to be incredible, and it was incredible for a while. But then things started kind of pressuring. I was working like a dog. I was working long hours. I was getting pressure from different bills and things. I was earning, but I wasn't saving. Guys, when you have a company job, you're forced to save a lot of times because the company will match your 401k and other things like that. Well, when you're an entrepreneur, it's hard to save sometimes because you want to put that money back in the business, I had employees. I had contractors. I had staff. And all of a sudden, I had to learn how to manage these people and make sure they did their jobs. And then the economy shifted, okay? We all have been there. Here's what I realized. Your business and your life is full of false freedoms. These are the things that actually they pretend and they look like they're going to set you free. They look like they're going to give you the freedom you want, but they're fool's gold, and they don't give you the freedom. They suck your time. They drain your bank account. They zap your energy. They trouble your mind. They leave you empty, and that empty feeling in your gut, they're built on false principles, and they're fool's gold. And so what I learned is that in life, there are things, there are businesses, there are other relationships that when you get going on them, they look really promising, but in reality, they lead you to emptiness. They lead you to the road of non-productivity, of making money but not having the life that you want. And so what I realized is that the false freedoms, you can pretty much see what the false freedoms are because they drain your time, they drain your energy, they drain your bank account, they drain your knowledge, and you don't have enough knowledge, you don't have enough experience to do the things. And so when you fall into this situation, these false freedoms, what ends up happening is you end up making money, but you're not having the lifestyle that you want. Or even worse than that is you don't make the money you thought, and you still don't have the lifestyle you have. And then there's a couple big factors that also play in here. Most people have fear about moving forward in a new direction because people don't have systems to follow. They don't have blueprints. A lot of times, people aren't successful because they only know what they know. They have unconscious incompetence. It's a word I love to use, and that is you don't know what you don't know. And most of us are resistant to change. Look at that last bullet point there. We're doing what we're doing now because it's comfortable. We at least know it. But rarely are many people, they're so resistant to change that it's really hard to change. Anyway, you've got to deal with these false freedoms.